Welcome back to Stitching Big Things with Hallie. I'm Hallie. Thanks so much for joining me again this week. Today is Friday, February 19th, 2021. I'd like to welcome any new viewers to the channel. This is a channel about cross stitch. Hopefully you're in the right place. Hopefully you'll find some inspiration here and a reason to subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, thanks guys so much for spending a little bit of your time every week. I know how important time is to everyone, and I appreciate that you choose to spend just a little of your time updating my projects. So, thank you guys so much for all of your comments and replies to my question last week in last week's video. The question was, do you like a longer video or a shorter video? What's your preference? And I loved all of the responses. Please know if you have not received a comment from me directly, you will be receiving one. We've had quite a week here in Texas, and I'll talk about that in a second, but please know that this afternoon, in the next few days, I will make sure. I have watched them all coming in and kind of been keeping a mental tally, but I do want to go back because I do appreciate how much time and energy it does take, even just to make a comment. So I want to make sure that I spend a little time and that you know that I have seen your comment and that how much I appreciate it. So if you haven't got a comment back yet, just wait, it's coming. So, I alluded to something going on in Texas. We have had a winter storm here. If you've been with me for a little bit, you know we did have some snow in January. Great fun, couple days, and it was mainly just snow. This has been a much different situation. For those of you who know me and have been around a little bit, you know that I was born and raised in Illinois, and then I lived in Minnesota for a while. And so snow is not a problem. We know how to deal with snow. My husband, the same. He was born in Iowa, raised in Illinois, and then we moved together to Minnesota. We chose to come to Texas because we'd had enough snow. And we've been here 12 years, and it's been lovely. A little bit of snow now and then is no big deal. This is something totally different entirely. This is Arctic cold. We are below freezing, which has happened a handful of times. This has been a week below freezing. We even had one day that we were at 0. So 0 Fahrenheit, sorry. 30. I'm talking all Fahrenheit, guys. I live in the United States. So please know when I talk numbers, it's all Fahrenheit. We did wake up one morning with 0 temps. So I don't know, all of you that live up north, you're like, big deal. Yeah, we're been negative 45 up in Minnesota. My friends in Minnesota. That's negative 45. What's your 0? Yeah, that's great, but we're not designed for 0. We're not designed for below 32. Many of the houses, not ours, but many of the houses, their plumbing is in the attic, or it's on the outside of their home. It's not adequate for these types of freezing temperatures. We've had power grid issues. We've had rolling blackouts. We've had the pump stations go down. So we were without water for about a day. And so it's been a little more challenging than normal winter weather. So we did spend a little bit of time when our power has stayed on, which has been a blessing. We live very close to a hospital, so they've been trying to keep the power on close to the hospitals, so which is great. But when our water went out, we did go out and gather some snow and are melting some snow to make sure we've got water for flushing of potties and things like that. We have not dumped any of that. We have held on to all of it. Just because, our water is back now, they were able to get the power back onto the pumping station. We're just not sure what's coming down the road as these things start to thaw and people's homes start to warm up. And we see how many water main breaks, water pipe breaks, all of that stuff. It's not inconceivable that they shut our water off due to all the breaks and the demand. So we're just hanging tight. We're good right now. Thank you for, if you've reached out to me, friends, family, viewers, if you've checked on us, reached out to me, thank you so much. It's so important to know that we're being thought of, and we are great. We are taking care of each other. We're making sure to check in with our elderly neighbors. We're sharing resources. One of the lovely neighbors shared his shovel because we left our shovels in Minnesota. We were not bringing them with us, and we needed a shovel the other day to get my car out. It got stuck. And so we're sharing resources. You know, we have hot water. My neighbor, her water is frozen, so we've offered our showers. We're taking care of each other. So we're good. All of that, you know, it's on your mind. It's causes some stress. So while I had a lot of time to stitch, I didn't necessarily always get a whole lot of stitching done. So, but let's get to the stitching so you can see what I did get done. First thing on Friday, I had done, you know, last week I did a lot of full coverage. So I was ready to have something that wasn't full coverage. So I grabbed my Long Dog sampler, Castles in the Air. I started this last year in February. Love that. I am stitching this on a 32 count Silvery Moon fabric. I don't know who makes the fabric. I got it from Stitch Niche over in Arlington. And I'm stitching it 2/1 with Royal Purple from the Gentle Arts. So I know it's really hard to tell, trust me. This is very, very silvery, but silver can either go blue or purple. And this silver has an undertone of purple. My goal for this project was to make it have a very royal, regal feel because of the castles. That's what I was thinking of. So initially I was thinking, you know, burgundy, royal blue, and when I found this fabric, the only thing that worked on this was purple. So I chose royal purple. Now, I'll come back to where I was there in just a second. I want to speak a little bit about royal purple. This, as you can see, this is very purpley. It's lovely. It's gorgeous. There is a little bit of blue in it, but not a lot. I purposely chose and had them, when they reordered, I had them pick out the very purpley pieces. This one, they did send me one because it has a lot of purple in it, but it does have a little bit of blue. Hopefully you can see the difference there in the purple and the blue. There is a little bit of blue in all of these, but not quite to that amount. I will probably cut that out. Just, if I use this skein, I will probably cut it out just to keep the integrity of the piece. But a little bit of blue mixed in there is not a problem. But that's, so those are things you can think of when you are working on a project. You can kind of color control what you're doing. And I am doing this 2/2 on 32 count. So what did I get done this week? Because it's been a while since you guys have seen this project. Probably, I don't think I brought it out at all this year yet. So I was right here at the bottom of this castle. So none of this was here. So I've stitched all of this down here. This is the bottom of the page. I did go ahead and extend this little bird out because I wanted him to be all in the same color. As you can see, I kind of stopped right there. That is the edge of the page. And I had come up and I was right underneath these owls. It was the middle, I think it's close to a page change. But then I came up and started working on these, started coming down, and then joined up here. And I'm working this way. So I did get just over 1,600 stitches in this in 3 or 4 days. So that was some good progress. And I enjoyed not, it was just pick it up and stitch away. So got done with that, and I decided I needed to get back to some of my goals because, February is a short month and I've got big goals for this month. I am using Mistletoe, the Broken Star collection by Carolyn Manning Designs. She has a ton of these projects out there in many different colorways. I bought a few different colorways, but I had not seen anybody stitching this Christmas one, and I love the Christmassy colors. So I jumped on this. You guys, this is a tremendous stitch. It is, once you get kind of the framework in, it just rolls and goes so fast. So if you enjoy this look, not necessarily maybe these colors, but she has a variety of different styles. They're a super fun stitch. They're quick, they're easy. It looks like it's going to be complicated. It is not. It is big chunks of color, and you can just go to town. And kind of once you get your framework in, it's super easy. So I am stitching this on an 18 count mushroom. I am also doing 2/2 on this. I'm using this particular project for the Full Coverage Fanatics Bookshelf Challenge. This is the Outlander, is the book that I'm using this for, and it was needing 8,500 stitches this month. I had started over here. Obviously, this is the width of the project, and this is your center point. So, you know, moving right along. I spent most of this week just filling in over here. I added about 1,800 stitches into this over the last 3 or 4 days. So, continue with this. I probably have, out of the 8,500, I think I was about 1,700 stitches left. So I will continue working on this week. You will see it again next week, hopefully with that goal finish. And that was it. I really just needed simple things I didn't really have to think about, not a lot of color changing, big blocks of color. So overall, I think it's been a good week. So I have no haul to speak of because there's no mail service. We've not had any mail, no garbage pickup, none of that. So it's good. We're gonna hang in there this week. Plans are to continue with Mistletoe. I will probably keep working on some of my other projects. For Full Coverage Fanatics, I'm also working on, I call her Autumn Fairy. Red Maple Fairy, I think, is her official name. So I may put some stitches into her because I know I probably have 800 or so stitches left to get into her for that bookshelf challenge as well. And I also have my 2021, which I may not get to this month, which is fine. We'll catch up with it eventually. So, okay, well, that pretty much wraps it up. This is a super, super quick one. Again, thank you to everyone who commented. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who has checked on us. We're doing great. And we will plan on seeing you guys next week. Thanks so much, and keep stitching those big things.